Davante Adams may be a Jet before long, according to so many reports and speculative reports, though. Keep that in mind. But tons of people insinuating this thing's going to eventually happen. Many talking about it happening during the year because of financial reasons, right? And how do the Raiders look 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season with AOC and Minshew at quarterback, thus saying, hey, this makes sense for us too to get rid of a guy that might have 1.5 years left at best. We're talking about that. We're also talking about this man, Kyren Williams, as we usually do once a week. A little recap, a little reminder that this guy could not only be a top 5 running back, he could be the number 1 overall running back in fantasy football, yet people keep ignoring all of the facts that are right in front of your face. Kyren Williams was just the second running back ever to be a top 5 running back in the league in rushing while missing 5 games, joining Hall of Famer Barry Sanders. What an interesting fact. And this combo here between Corum and Kyren wins leagues. It's a top, not 5, top 1 to 5 running back in fantasy football 2024. I can't scream it enough. We got Nick Chubb news. We've got Jalen Hurts news. We have Aiyuk news, the fantasy football show. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. That show, young man, begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So real quickly, all super chats going forward, we're going to get into the busy season. I need to answer these immediately. Calvin Krim coming in with a $5 holler. Hey, Smitty, just showing some love in case I have to leave and miss the live stream. Thank you, Calvin, for dropping the super chat. Super chats get immediate attention going forward on this channel as we march into the second half of July. It's July 15. Aiyuk, we'll get to that in a second. Hurts, we'll get to that in a second. Let's real quickly start off with Kyren Williams and finish this up. I don't understand. I don't get how people don't see this kid as the biggest league winner you could find. Deckard with 5 gifted memberships. Please thank Deckard if you got a gifted membership right now from the Deckmeister. Dropping a 5 gifted membership. Meat Missile got one. Attaboy Meat. Axe, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you being here. Thomas in the building. Double R was gifted a membership. Trotter got one. TZ got one. Dropping loads, Deckard. Appreciate you doing that. Man, nice little beginning to the show there, Deckard. Thank you, Calvin. Kyren Williams it's like a obliviousness that people have. It's an oblivious state of ignorance when you don't see Kyren Williams and see a glorious fantasy football producing running back. A guy that could lead the league in rushing yards. A guy that could lead the league in rushing touchdowns. A guy that could blow your expectation of reception totals and PPR work out of the water because he's been practicing his PPR game. He's been getting ready to pull in a whole lot more passes in 2024, and people think, oh, he is what he is. What we saw last year is what you're going to get. I have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I also have a video clip we played a couple times, but it's worth playing again, of this man, Kyren Williams, looking like an absolute monster on the field. Look at this man and how quick he looks. Oh, yeah, he's got a foot injury, Smitty. Are we concerned about the foot injury? Let's see. First of all, he's out there catching passes. Look at these routes. Look at the hands. And look at the quickness on this. I haven't seen a left to right quickness with a forward type speed like that in a long time. His ability to go forward and lateral at the same time, at the same speed, both left and right, forward and backwards. You don't notice the difference. Take a look at it one more time. You don't know if he's going forward, right, left, back. It's unbelievable. This guy's out there dragging sleds. He's out there doing slide boards. He's out on a mission, and people are talking about him being injured. Are you paying attention? This man had 12 rushing touchdowns in 2023. 12 rushing touchdowns. He had 15 total scores. He had 1144 and 12 tutties. If you extrapolate that 17 games out, 16, 20, 21 touchdowns. This man is on a mission. And there was no running back better than Kyren when he was on the field than Christian McCaffrey. There was no better running back. It was Christian McCaffrey. It was Kyren. They blew everyone out of the water. And for some reason, people want to run from this. I think mostly because they feel bad about themselves because they didn't see it coming. And they double down. They dig a hole. They say, well, if I was wrong about it before, makes me feel bad. How about I root against him now? And if I root against him now and he fails, then I wasn't wrong last year, was I? Phil with a $10 holler.
To the moon.
$10 hollers get not only immediate attention, but a moonshot. Smitty, can we get a let him cook beat for Kyren? At the gym, need to get pumped up. Enjoy the weekly winners. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
I'm at the gym too. You know why? Because Smitty is getting pumped up. I'm down 20 pounds since the A-Chan video. I said I was going to lift when the A-Chan video dropped, and I've been here pumping iron, dropping LBs, getting my 12,000 steps in, and we're doing it live. You're at the gym? I'm at the gym. A-Chan's at the gym.
A-Chan. A-Chan is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
A-Chan is the man.
Ever since that video dropped, your boy has been hard at work, okay? I do 12,000 steps a day. About 2 of those are of those 6 or 7 miles I run. So I run 2 miles, walk about 4, and this boy's getting ripped. I'm getting leaned down. My arm's getting smaller. Everything's kind of thinning out, and then I'm going to start lifting hardcore and get pumped up like A-Chan. But on that note, one more time, just take a look at Kyren Williams. If you look at this right here and you don't see an elite player, like not just a good runner, you don't see an elite, shifty, footwork monster, I can't help you. Like, you might as well leave. Like, I literally give up. I don't quit on many people. But if you're looking at this and you're still arguing with me, let's watch it one more time together. Let's say you're watching this right now and you go, I don't see it. I just don't, it doesn't look quick to me. I don't know. If you don't, I honestly can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm giving up on you. I quit you. Bye-bye. See you later. I can't help you. I can't.
You've just been Smitty disapproved. Get wrong.
Or if you're gonna stay, get me a coffee. Kyren's going to the moon. Only 2 running backs in NFL history have been top 5 in the league in rushing while missing 5 games. Barry Sanders, Kyren Williams. And this man was by far and away the second best running back in the National Football League every single game he played last year. 12 games, 15 touchdowns. What more do you want? How can I scream from the rooftops any higher than this? How can I do it?
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
He's got a lightning bolt on his nose. He's got a, look at this, look at his nose, look at his nose. He has a lightning bolt on his nose. I don't know how to help you. If you don't see Kyren Williams for what he is, I can't help you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you pumping iron with us today. And sheesh, with a $10 holler.
To the moon.
Thank you, sheesh. We appreciate you. What are you saying here? Mr. Smitty got orders for a big money league. 0.5 PPR, 12 team, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. I'm picking 9 and doing mocks on Yahoo. This is a very running back heavy league. How do I prepare for and who do I take? Do you reach? It's hard to know until you're on the clock, my guy, but I would say at the very at the very minimum, I'm taking that Achane or Kyren in round 2. Will they fall to you? I don't know. Probably will, because if you're drafting from, what was it, the 9 pick, you're probably going to get one of those 2 with your second pick. So honestly, I'm fine going running back. I've been talking about that a lot. In the comments of my most recent running back video, you got a lot of wide receiver willies, and they're going, "Oh, the data, Smitty. This is bad advice, guys. Attention, Smitty's. This is Smitty's show, but I'm going to try and step in and explain you every fantasy explain all of you. Don't listen to Smitty. He just did this live stream. Don't listen to him. This is very bad advice. Taking running back. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 4 years. Smitty's been doing it 23 professionally, probably 30 total his entire life playing fantasy. But don't listen to Smitty. He doesn't understand that wide receivers are what we're being told by all of the brainwashing bobbies out there, and we must draft wide receiver. It's what we're being told. It's the only thing we know. Smitty, you're confusing us. When you say go running back and everybody else in the industry says you got to go wide receiver, you're confusing me, Smitty. It's making me very scared. I don't like to be uncomfortable. I'm getting anxiety. I'm an anxious Angus. Please, Smitty, stop it. Everybody, don't listen to Smitty. I've got about 5 commenters on my last video that are just like, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Please. This is bad. This is terrible advice. Running back. This is like, they used to do this back in the day. I remember hearing stories back when there were pagers and people had flip phones. They used to draft RB. I've never heard of this in my life. I think they even had CDs back then. They put in a vehicle and listened to music. Unbelievable. I'm going running back in a running back heavy situation all day long if it falls. Best player available, sheesh, is the way to go. Okay, so sheesh, if you're going to be sitting there and somehow, some way, St. Brown's sitting there and you think you can get Kyren in round 2, St. Brown, Kyren smashes. If you could get maybe a Gibbs or a Hall, you say it's running back heavy, then they may not fall, but Gibbs could fall, and you take Gibbs, and then you go Marvin Harrison Jr. or London. I'm fine with that too, but I'm not scared to go DK and Devontae Smith. DK and Tank Dell is my wide receiver 1 and 2 in a running back heavy situation. I'm just not. Scared Scotties can do whatever the hell they want. They don't have to watch either. Look, I'm here for the people that believe in the process, okay? I'm here for the people that have an open mind to everything we discuss. But when you come into the chat and you're like, don't listen to him. Why are you watching? What are you wasting your time for? Coming in the chat and acting so angry because you don't agree with my process and what I do. I could care less. Get out of here. No one needs you here. James with a $5 holler. Smitty doing it live like usual. Best dang show. Knowing I can get Kyren or Achane with my second pick, and I'm more comfortable taking Chase at my 1.4. I love it. That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we just said, and he's doing it live. Listen to James.
You've just been...
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
James is just doing it. It's what he's doing. James is doing it. Cheryl, appreciate you with the super chat here as well. Let's see what this says. This says, hey, Smitty, how do you rank Pacheco versus ETN at their current ADPs? And who do you like better? Also, given how high we were on Bigsby last year, any value in him? Bigsby's such a curious case. The curious case of Tank Bigsby. It should, more than anything, remind you that Corum doesn't have this kung fu grip on the demise of Kyren Williams. Bigsby was easily as high a prospect as some of these other running backs that people are fearful of. Now, Corum scored a lot of touchdowns in college, scored a touchdown in every single game last year. I mean, that's impressive, but it was a system that did it more than the talent. The talent's there. The drive and determination of Corum is amazing, and there's a reason Corum is the best cuff in fantasy football, so make no mistake. I'm going to love when someone comes in here in week 7 and Corum starts 2 straight games because Kyren does put his body at risk, and someone walks in and goes, Smitty, I told you. We're going to go. No, you didn't. We told you.
Mashed potatoes!
We told you, pal. we told you. You didn't tell nothing. We told you. Go get us a coffee. Go get us a coffee. I can't wait. As for the Pacheco, actually I can't wait. I don't want Kyren to miss a game. I don't want Kyren to miss a game.
Mashed potatoes!
I don't know what I was saying there for a second. Okay, so yeah, there's not a ton of value in Bigsby. There's a little bit. There's cuffing value. Would I draft Bigsby once standalone? No. Not doing it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. But I do believe that he's got cuff value in deeper leagues, but barely. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just draft another player that has more pop. This gets back to the, hey, Smitty, do we cuff everybody? Cuffing's not good, Smitty. I was told by somebody else that creates videos that claims to be an expert, even though they just started, and they said that cuffing's not good. As if there was possibly a way to blanket statement this thing. Yeah, like cuffing's either good or cuffing's not good. What in the hell you talking?
You've just been Smitty disciplined.
There's no way to generalize cuffing. You can't say cuffing's good or cuffing's bad. It is case by case every single time. Every single time it's a case by case situation. So, Cheryl, I'm not yelling at you. Cuffing Bigsby to ETN is a nothing burger, really. Because I'd much rather take a shot on Lloyd standalone and make the Jacobs owner shart their pants night in and night out as they toss and turn going, I don't have the cuff, as they sleep and have nightmares because you came in and screwed up their whole plan of attack by sniping Lloyd. I love Chase Brown. I love going and grab me some Kendre Miller, Vidal standalone, Spears standalone. There's no need to cuff every situation. That is probably one of the dumbest ways to ruin your upside, is to cuff because you have a starter. But there are certain cuffs that are must own, like Corum and Kyren. And anybody that tells you not to cuff Kyren and Corum to take another stab at another player doesn't understand ball.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
So, answer the Bigsby question, not a big deal, okay? As for the Pacheco ETN, this is a very, very tough question. And ETN has earned this, right? He was running back 4 in most cases, running back 4. But I kind of feel like Pacheco is going to be a 10 to 12 touchdown guy this year. I love Pacheco around 4. Love him around 4. He's a smash in round 4. Do I love either one of ETN or Pacheco in 3? They become a very different product in round 3. If both are in 4, I'm leaning Pacheco. Pacheco's probably going to be a moon man again. mainly because of his cost of entry in the 4th round. He was inching toward the 3rd, and I didn't want that, and he's not there anymore. He's in the 4th round. He's very easily had in the 4th round. Sometimes I take him in the 4th round in an underdog draft. Promo code Smitty will probably be drafting tonight. 50% match on your first deposit. Just click this link right here. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Smash it. We'll be drafting tonight. Hit the link, get ready, because you'll need to be ready and signed up. It takes like 1 minute, $10 minimum. They'll match your first deposit. If you do $10, they'll give you 50% of that, $5. So they'll match it up to 50%. I draft Pacheco sometimes in the 4th round, and people go, oh, I don't know if I like that. Pacheco over him? Pacheco over him? The answer is yes. Pacheco's a 10 to 12 potential touchdown monster. But I love both of them. You can't really go wrong. They're pretty neck and neck. I'd almost split it if I had 2 teams side by side to diversify my portfolio and get double, 1 share of each. But if I only had 1 draft, I'm gonna lean toward Pacheco. Thank you, Cheryl. Sorry for the long-winded answer on that one. I got on a tangent. I started ranting and raving. Rockout says, "Where's the beef with the running backs?" I don't know, Rockout. I'm not sure why people have a problem with it, but it's very head scratching. Smitty, Goat, rank these wide receivers: DK, Cup, Amari, Pittman. I'm going to say DK, Cooper Cup, mini tier break, Amari, Pittman kind of tied. So give me DK or Cup as my crafty wide receiver 1 in a wait on a wide receiver strategy. You go RB, smash the RB. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of the RB hate, but I love it at the same time because it opens the door to opportunity. But people are wild. Have you seen this lately? Have you seen this guy? His name's Kyren. And some people think he's hurt right now. Look at the quickness on this guy. Oh, 15 touchdowns in 12 games, 12 rushing touchdowns in 12 games. Only played slightly behind Christian McCaffrey all year. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Kyren gets me so excited. Where's my Kyren shirt? It's over in this pile. Otherwise, I put it on. But DK Cup tier break. Those are wide receiver 1s that people don't want to admit are wide receiver 1s in fantasy. And they make going running back great again. Okay, so Joel, do it live. B-Men, rather have Jamar Chase or MHJ and Debo. Woo! I'm assuming you mean redraft. I'm going to say MHJ and Debo. Yeah. And in Dynasty, MHJ and Debo. Yeah, because MHJ and Dynasty I have ranked over Chase. Oh, did Smitty just say that? Yes, I did.
You've just been
So Dynasty for sure. And then a redraft, I mean, look, I think MHJ can rival Jamar Chase this year as a rookie. I don't care what anybody thinks. I think this man is an absolute marvel. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starving Marvin will answer the call. They're Kyler and Marvin.
So MHJ Debo all day long, in all formats, especially Dynasty. But yeah, bro. Great question, B-Man. All right, Super Chats are cleared for now, but keep in mind, this is Super Chat season, so keep them flowing, and I'll answer as soon as as they come up. I'm trying to stay on top of that. So can we close the book on Kyren for right now until we get a phone call on it? But Kyren Williams, can we agree that in non-Bizarro world, in regular fantasy land, this is a first-round player. This is a top 5 over. Can I make a statement without the angry Angus, the petrified Peter, the worried William, the scared Scott out there sharting their pants and diarrheaing themselves? Can I say something? Kyren deserves to be a top 5 overall pick. You heard me. Did I say take him there? I did not. He deserves to be a top 5 overall pick. But everybody's scared Scotty content creator out there. Thank God for him. They keep scaring people. I don't understand how. I don't get it. This guy's a top 1 to 5 running back. He's a top 5 overall player. And you have the luxury of drafting him in round 2 if you want to reach. And he falls to the middle of 3 on very many occasions. If you're in a running back heavy league, you'll probably have to get him by the middle of 2nd round territory if your league knows what time it is. But a lot of people don't, especially in best ball land where it's wide receiver, where the door is wide open to go against the grain, to go against traffic. And despite all the complaining Caleb's and the I know it all Ian's in my comment section after a video, that they get so bold and keyboard warrior like after the video posts and they go, don't listen to this guy. Have you seen? It was such a terrible idea because I've been consuming the data from last year that's not even this year. It's last year's Gray's Book Sports Almanac. I've gotten my hands on last year's predictions and stats. According to last year, it is a bad idea to go wide receiver, unless you can land the wide receivers. Then we're in trouble. If somebody ends up figuring out that they can go against traffic, like Smitty says, and draft RB and smash the wide receiver position, we are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody has cracked the matrix of fantasy football. His name might be Smitty. His name might be Smitty. It's such a terrible idea. Guys, in the comments, my name's Steve. Don't listen to him. Please. Please. I haven't heard of this when I was shorting my diapers or when my parents were barely even thinking about conceiving me. I heard about this running back situation, Smitty. I heard about it once. I didn't think it would ever come back. And I don't think it should, because I don't understand it. And it confuses me. What I don't understand, I must stay away from, Smitty. I must stay away from it. Okay, so real quickly, just before we do that, look at that. Look at it one more time. They make those running backs make the noises when they're doing that. You know why, right? Because the human body is moving so quick, it just starts popping out sounds. It just starts popping out sounds. Kyren to the moon. I'm so excited for all my Kyren shares. God, how long have we been on this topic? 30 minutes. Okay, time to move on. Kyren, you won't be. I'm going to move him right here in case anybody wants to call in on him. And we'll bring him back up again. Don't worry. Davante Adams. Here's a report here. Boomer Esiason says that if a Davante Adams trade to the Jets does happen, it will be August or early September when it gets executed. The dead cap for the Raiders this year is $40 million if they trade him. I'm hearing that this is going to happen. If it does happen in late August or September, he's hearing it. He's hearing it's going to happen. I'm hearing that this is going to happen. That's wild. That's a wild statement. Let me read it back just to make sure I'm reading it right. I'm hearing that it is going to happen. If it does happen, kind of contradictory, in late August or early September, and the cap hit for him will be $25 million. So this is going to be a move. And think about it from this angle too. The Raiders probably don't want to move him yet. They know they can move him at any moment. He's Davante Adams. So waiting is only beneficial financially for them. It also gives them a chance to see, can Minshew do something that we know he probably won't do, or can AOC do what we know he probably won't do. So I I think we're looking at a trade. We are looking at a trade. The question is, we got to really factor this into, not too much because it's all a bunch of what ifs, right? Compensation, a lot of things would maybe step on this, but what does this do to Garrett Wilson midseason? You know, it obviously makes Aaron Rodgers go up. So when we talk about second quarterbacks in Superflex, Aaron Rodgers needs to be looked at a little bit more seriously as your second QB, because he could get a midseason injection. He could get a week 4, week 3 injection. But I think the Raiders do wait to see how bad the team is. They start off 0-3, they start off 1-5, then they trade him. They trade Adams. Why? Because then Adams might not even have a full calendar year left of being elite. They know that. They can get something for him and not get hit. This is a real statement. And maybe we put this on a shirt. Real King says running back is for grown men. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Or for adults, you could say. It's for grown men and grown women. Going running back is not for the faint of heart, not for the weak-minded. Wide receiver is a sheep move. I'm not saying I don't draft it, but the mentality of it, that you have to go wide receiver. The fact that you're even contemplating going a position only. I'm not even doing that with RB. I'm taking the best player available. But because of the mentality that everybody has, the sheep mentality of going wide receiver, no matter what, you got to take wide receivers. You just got to do it. That is making almost de facto the best player available running back in round 1 and round 2 almost every time. That's the truth of the matter. So when someone says, Smitty, how are you talking about running back when you're saying take best player available? Because I can almost guarantee you that in almost any situation, I can justify running back being the best player available. Almost every time. Why? Because Kyren can be reached on in round 2 instead of letting him fall to round 3, thus giving me the best player in round 2 every time as Kyren Williams. Achane in round 2 is the best player every single time in round number 2, or at least equivalent to an MHJ, equivalent to a London. So when you ask me, how can I be certain I can go running back as a BPA strategy and almost lock it in? Because Kyren, because of Achane, because Gibbs falls to 11, 12, 10, because Hall falls to 7, 8, 9, because Bijan falls to 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can almost piecemeal together a best player available running back strategy in rounds 1 and 2 every single time I draft. That's how. All you wide receiver is a must. People are opening the door to the running back mentality. The grown men and grown women approach of fantasy football 2024.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
It's that simple. As for this move, we'll see what happens, but we'll have some conversation on the phone line, guys. Call in tonight about this. When the phone line's open, I want you guys to call in. What do we do with Garrett Wilson? We can't move him down or make any assumptions off of what if fantasy trade Boomer Esiason's telling us is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, is Boomer Esiason going to be the guy that determines where we value Garrett Wilson? But we got to talk about it. Like, could Garrett Wilson get a nut kick mid-season? Week 4, week 2, week 3. I don't know. Will Garrett Wilson be affected at all? Maybe not. Maybe Garrett Wilson's the favorite target of Aaron Rodgers no matter what happens, but the rapport is strong between Adams. And here's another report right here from McAfee saying the 49ers. Oh, this is the Aiyuk one. I'll come back to that. This one right here. Talk about, I don't know, not knowing ball, I guess, Jeremy Fowler. Even though Jalen Hurts is very good. Hold on. This needs to have the megaphone.
Excuse me, I have something to say. Even though Jalen Hurts is good, very good, he's never really going to be a top 5 quarterback in the eyes of a lot of evaluators.
You know, that actually may be a true statement, unfortunately, but it's a stupid way of looking at it, and the fact that he probably believes some of this is why he's saying it is moronic. Jalen Hurts is not only a top 5 running back, he's obviously a top 1, 2, or 3 fantasy football QB. But the mentality people have of this is similar to Kyren. It's similar to Achan. It's similar to any player that people missed the boat on and they continue to double down. There are people that were so wrong about Jalen Hurts many years ago. They're circling back and they're trying to double down on the first glimpse of any sign of decline in the Eagles' struggle last year. Was it Jalen Hurts' fault? No, it wasn't his. Anybody who knows ball knows that it wasn't his fault. He was the number 6. He was a top 6 quarterback in statistical production in 11 of 17 games last year. He was, and don't just say, well, that's fantasy, Smitty. We're talking about production on the field. Production on the field. He was a top 6 quarterback in production on the field in 11 out of 17 games. And you're going to run your dumb mouth about this, Jeremy, and say that even though Hurts is very good, he's very good, he's never really going to be a top 5 quarterback. Are we out of our minds? What are we doing here? You know, how do some of these people even get jobs? To be honest with you, Jeremy Fowler obviously doesn't know it. This is really his stance, and I don't really know if he ended up saying, because to be fair, I didn't see the whole situation unfold live or anything. If he ended up saying, and I disagree, then hats off to him, and I'll take a lap gladly. But I'm getting the feeling that this is him kind of using other people to explain his point. And his point must be he didn't see Jalen coming, so he's ashamed of himself. And so he's going to make stupid comments like this because he's ashamed of himself. His mother's ashamed of him. I'm ashamed of him. His mother's ashamed of him. Every one of you should be ashamed of him. Jeremy Fowler clearly doesn't know ball. He clearly doesn't know ball. Anybody that thinks that Jalen Hurts is not a top 5 quarterback, we're talking about you want to take him out of your 1, 2, or 3, fine. You got Stroud to throw in. I get it. Not going to argue with you. You still like Burrow somehow? Fine. And I like him too. You want Mahomes and Josh Allen and a different quarterback at the 3 spot? You do you, pal. That's fine by me. But you're literally going to put your balls on the table and say he's not a top 5 QB? Are you out of your mind?
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
I mean, literally, please, anybody in the chat, don't say Jalen Hurts is not a top 5 NFL quarterback, or you're literally leaving a very, very vulnerable receipt right in the live chats. You know, usually everybody that's a tough guy later comes in the comments and says, yeah, Smitty, he's actually not that good. Let me explain to you why. Let me fantasy explain you, because I've got a little background on this. I know you don't know this. I know you don't do this for a living and sit here at a desk in a cave going live more than I've ever taken breaths of air. But let me come in here and fantasy explain you. Let me tell you why Jalen Hurts really isn't all that good. He doesn't know how to read blah, 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 blah. You know what I do on that? Next. You think I read your paragraph, Bob? I don't have time for that shit. I've got members. Fantasy football, I can sort by members. You become an exclusive member. I sort by member questions. I got questions to answer of people that have serious fantasy football needs or want to talk ball, want to talk actual educated football, educated ball talk. Not you. Pause. I don't even care. No pause. We're talking footballs. Oh, Jeremy. We got ball talk. Ball talk to go to get to, pal. Get out of here. All right, Puka or AJ Brown? It's close. I don't know. Chat, can we vote on this one? A little ball talk here. AJ Brown or Puka? Puka or AJ Brown? What do we got here? I'm going to say, give me A.J. Brown. The touchdown production is there. I love Puka Nacua, but Puka struggled to score touchdowns last year. A.J. Brown could score 12 to 13 to 14 touchdowns in a Kellen Moore offense. Hey, guess who's there in Philly? Kellen Moore. Guess who was a top 3 wide receiver last year? Top 3 to 4, depending on your format. Keenan Allen. Guess who's probably going to be a top 3 to 5 wide receiver this year in Kellen Moore's system? Made CeeDee Lamb a top 8 wide receiver. Made Keenan Allen a top 3 to 4 wide receiver. Continuously has a receiver popping off in the top 5 to 8 every single year. Kellen Moore. Probably going to be A.J. Brown. I love Devontae Smith. He could be a huge benefactor of this as well. But A.J. Brown might have that year. Give me A.J. Brown.
You've just been
Puka's nice, but Kupp still dominated in touchdown targets. Puka was really, really low in the NFL in terms of like touchdown goal line looks. And so it's not that I don't like him. He's obviously a yardage machine. But definitely A.J. Brown's got the massive touchdown production potential. Rockout says, where's the outlook of Wilson if Adams is a Jet? Exactly what we already talked about. Rockout, good. You probably posted that before I said that. Again, call in to talk about it. I don't really know. The answer is really, really tough to cook up. I just say that like we can't really make those assumptions and draft off that. But maybe you bump them down a spot or two. Maybe you start looking at the running backs, going running back instead of going Garrett Wilson in a couple drafts. But you got to have shares of Garrett Wilson. His efficiency, his route success rates against every single kind of coverage is just unbelievable. Adams is also older. Like Adams could get traded and get injured. Adams could get traded and be very productive, but not elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just assume because Aaron Rodgers wants him, he will be elite for another year. He's getting up there in age. Davante Adams. Ziggy, how old is Davante Adams? Ziggy, how old is Davante Adams? You son of a bee.
Davante Adams is 31 years
31.
old. He was born on December
Ziggy off.
24th,
Turns 32 years old this year, guys. He turns 32 years old. So I'm going to say don't let it affect too much, bro. Does Jeremy Fowler know ball or no? He doesn't know ball. He doesn't know ball talk like we do. Joel. Smitty the GOAT, CMC MHJ Achan or CMC London Achan. CMC MHJ Achan or CMC London Achan. This is close. So basically, well, I mean, you might as well. I mean, I think you want me to have the whole picture. I get it. But London versus MHJ. I'm going to lean MHJ by a hair. And that definitely is supported by my draft tendencies. So, but it's a close one, bro. Very, very close. Very, very close. Adams could pull a hammy this year badly, says Ilphil. Adams is definitely going to be an enigma walking into New York once traded. But to assume that he's going to, at 32 years old this year, he'll turn 32 during the season, be the same guy no matter what. You know, a lot of times it's just injury. You know, like last year, people are going to go, hey, was Aaron Jones really bad, Smitty, or did he just get hurt? I got Smitty, guys. Guys, I got Smitty. I tricked him. I trapped him. Answer that, Smitty. Well, Bob, Aaron Jones was 28. Half of the battle is staying healthy at 28. Therefore, yes, we predicted Aaron Jones to decline. Austin Eckler, was he really bad last year, Smitty, or did he get injured? I got him again! Well, staying healthy is part of the battle. That's about 50% of the negativity part about drafting a 28-year-old running back. Christian McCaffrey could be elite for 8 straight games, but get injured because he's 28 years old. And 28 years old is a tall order. That's a tall order. Staying healthy at that age. And everybody will blame it on injury and say, well, if he didn't get hurt, that's the whole point. So Adams at 32, a running back at 28, they're pretty equivalent. Adams staying healthy once he's 31, turning 32. Adams staying healthy this year is a tall order. CMC staying healthy this year is a tall order. Alvin Kamara at 29, you know, he's a different type of running back, kind of like Christian McCaffrey in a way. It's a tall order. But it's built into his ADP, though. Christian McCaffrey's going 1 overall at 28 years old. Kamara's going around 7. Cooper Kupp is a huge injury risk, but he's going around 3-4. Derrick Henry's going in 3-4. Huge injury risk, but he's going in 3-4. You know, you look at somebody like Waddle, you know, going in 2. The difference between Waddle and 2 in an injury-prone but built-in, packaged-in, baked-in Cooper Kupp, and like if he falls to 4.1, it's night and day. I'd rather have Cooper Kupp all day long. Give me Achane or Kyren early in round 2, and then I go with DK, Tank Dell, somebody like that later in round number 4. Cost of entry is everything. Hoosiers with a $2 hauler, AJB over Puka. AJB has top 5 QB, correct? Stafford's no joke, but you talk about touchdown production. Puka does not come with a 15 touchdown, ceiling, whereas AJ Brown does. And AJ Brown, man, I mean, getting Kellen Moore does it. He produces top 5 wide receivers. He just does. Keenan Allen last year. That's why Keenan Allen's a complete avoid this year. He doesn't have Kellen Moore. He's 87 years old. No thank you. No thank you on Keenan Allen. And no thank you on Davante Adams. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. All right, so thank you, Hoosier, for the $2 hauler. This is a report here by McAfee. It's also, this is from Schefter, really. The 49ers have wanted Brandon Aiyuk back. This is Schefter's words on the McAfee show, okay? So he went on McAfee, he talked about this. He said the 49ers have wanted Brandon Aiyuk back, and they've intended to bring him back. The wide receiver market has shifted, and it makes it tough. I mean, is he reading, is Adam Schefter reading my words? Because I feel like he's just regurgitating what I've said for months and months and months and months, as I've been ripped on by Niner fans left and right, which is par for the course. Remember when I said Jimmy G would throw hospital balls to Adams to the point where Adams would refuse to want to play for the Raiders? Remember how much heat I took? And now the video footage is released of Adams going nuts, absolutely nuts, dropping F-bomb after F-bomb, saying, I'm going to get effing, killed here. How am I going to, I got to get out of here. I get effed every game, just completely blasted every game. Every game, he's getting smashed to pieces. Part of Adams staying in LV was Jimmy had to go. He requested Jimmy to go, and that's why Jimmy did not return. Exactly what I said. I've got the Niners situation down pretty much to a T across the board. Predicted the Deebo Samuel situation to a T. Predicted the Brandon Aiyuk situation to a T. And in Aiyuk requesting a trade's probably next. The Niners have wanted Aiyuk back, and they've intended to bring him back. The wide receiver market has shifted, and that makes it tough. It's harder to get a deal done now than it was a couple months ago. That's a quote. Those are 2 different things said from Adam Schefter. Okay, so we don't know what in the hell is going on with Aiyuk. All we know is he's not happy. The Niners and him are not close. Aiyuk has raised his price tag, rightly so, because the market's skyrocketed, and you got a lot of people that run their mouth about it, saying, well, then screw him, he doesn't need to stay because I'm a Niner fan and I'm going to turn my back on Aiyuk, just like I predicted when they said, no, he's great, we're not going to turn our back on him. Now everybody's turning their back on him. They're running away from Brandon Aiyuk, and it's despicable, because all he's doing is trying to get what he's worth. All he's doing is trying to take advantage of the market that has increased because the Niners sat on their hands. And I don't want to hear the Niners have been trying to get a deal done. They've been having conversations, but they notoriously get things done in July and August. They have preliminary conversations. They try to get around numbers, but they don't necessarily sign you. And then this whole thing about the Niners never truly wanted to, coming from Schefter, they never truly wanted to trade Deebo or Aiyuk. They never really took any offers seriously. And everyone's like, told you, Smitty, I told you. And then we hear like a week or 2 later that there's a deal in place that the Washington Commanders backed out of. A lot of this is not totally clear. A lot of half-truths being told. So at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that the Niners and Aiyuk are probably so far apart right now. 2 things are going to happen. He's either going to play on his 5th-year option and then get the hell out of Dodge next year. They'll probably look to franchise tag him depending on what that amount is, because they can't pigeonhole themselves into a situation where they've got this massive contract because of the wide receiver values that go up. They can't necessarily franchise tag him for sure because they got Brock Purdy they got to drag out until August. So, and they're going to let that price tag go up probably. Now watch the Niners sign him right away. Watch them. They'll do it with Purdy, but they won't do it with the receivers. It's wild. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll drag out Purdy as well, and we'll be sitting here complaining about this the entire 2025 offseason. I can imagine talking about Purdy 5 times a week because the Niners are sitting on their hands again, letting the market get out of control. But we'll find out what's happening on that. Phone lines are open. That is the news for today. Kyren is a monster. We'll keep Kyren on screen. We got 2 super chats here that I haven't got to yet. Rockout says, Johnny wants to go QB in a 1 QB league. That's not smart. I don't know who the hell Johnny is, but he needs to stop right now. And Joel says, Smitty, go, what do you think about Tua as a starter? I think it's an interesting best ball play, especially in weeklies. But I don't know that I love him as a standalone guy unless you draft JD5 with him, and then you got this combo. Kyler, you draft Kyler with him. Cousins and Penix Jr. with drafting Tua is pretty smart, but I don't know that I would put all my eggs in the Tua basket just because of the injury risk. But I do love him in weeklies, best ball, underdog fantasy. If you guys want to draft with me tonight, hit this link right here, right now. The link's in the description of the video. Underdog will match your first deposit 50%. So if you deposit the minimum of 10, they'll give you 5. You do $100, they'll give you 50. You do 500, they'll give you 250, all the way up to 250. So you want to draft, hit that link tonight. Aldi says right here, Aldi, appreciate you dropping the super chat here. $2 hauler says, T. Higgins, a buy contract year, top free agent in 2025. No, I think T. Higgins it depends where you can buy him at. Do I think he's worth a 4th round play? No. Do I think that I'd rather have Tank Dell, rather have a handful of players over T. Higgins? Yeah. I'm not a huge T. Higgins fan, to be honest with you. I don't think he's a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. I think he's a very good complementary player, a guy that can step up and play very good. He reminds me of Michael Pittman. I don't think Pittman's a wide receiver 1, even though he's a wide receiver 1 in his situation. I think T. Higgins and Pittman are definitely glorified wide receiver 2s that people think are better than they are because of volume when they're fed, when they're overfed. Pittman could be overfed this year and play like a low-end wide receiver 1, but at the end of the day, a year from now, 2 years from now, if the rookie ends up passing him up, and A.D. Mitchell becomes the number 1, then it's going to be a problem for people that are investing high draft capital in Pittman. But I like T. Higgins, but is he a buy? No. He's a wide receiver 2. I'm not going to buying wide receivers that A, are going to change teams, B, you don't know what is in store for him, C, he has had trouble staying healthy. There's a lot of moving parts. He's not a buy unless he's cheap, unless he's very cheap. James from Texas. What's up, James?
Hey, Smitty, how you doing? I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
Smitty, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you hear me, Smitty? Yeah, my
call back, bro. Call back, bro. I've said yes 3 times. I don't know if your connection is bad. James calling again. Getting offers on Pickens in my Dynasty. Should I hold? Because I'm expecting a breakout. Getting offers on Pickens in my Dynasty. I would definitely field offers. I like Pickens, but Pickens has a little bit of risk to his name. Just feels a little bit risky. Enough to say shop him, but not enough to sell him low. All right, James, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I had a question about the Eagles players ADP. So this may pertain to Saquon and Hurts, but what happens if we get training camp vids of the Eagles practicing the tush push? What happened to their ADPs?
What happens if they do what they did last year and successfully, what do you mean? I don't understand the question. Like the brotherly shove is something the Eagles are fully expected to do.
I just feel like that some people aren't too sure whether it's going to happen or not. I think it's going to happen, but I feel like a decent portion of the drafting market is not too sure whether it's going to happen or not.
I mean, are they going to dial it back a little bit because of Barkley? Yeah, you're going to see them not brotherly shove from the 4-yard line out. They'll probably run Barkley more. But if they've got 1 yard to go, do you think that how old? He's 25 years old, right? Ziggy, how old is Jalen Hurts? I think he's 25 years old. 25.
Jalen Hurts is 25 years
Ziggy off. 25. You think we're worried about a 25-year-old quarterback that's in his prime going, "Hey, I don't want to run anymore. It's scary. It's dangerous. Every time I run the ball, it's dangerous."
Yeah.
If you got an inch
I know,
or a yard,
this community isn't scared, but there's a lot of people out there.
Well, that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that want a lot of things to happen because they have agendas, bro. Because they don't adjust and adapt like I do. I adjust and adapt. I'm drafting Derrick Henry this year because I know how to adjust and adapt. I don't hold on to my old tendencies of doubting this player or worry about this. I don't. And people are very confused by my style of fantasy football analysis. They get confused, bro. They don't. A lot of people don't understand a revolving door. They think it's a flip-flopping mentality. When I come in and say draft Walker and draft him everywhere, Walker is one of the league's best touchdown getters through 1 month of football. I don't know if you remember how good Kenneth Walker was weeks 1 through 4. He was a monster, bro. He was scoring touchdowns left and right.
Look.
I came in around week 5 or 6, I believe, and said, emergency live stream. And I said, this is not going to settle well with people, but guess what? You can trade. And if you're in best ball, it's not like you have to freak out or anything, especially if you have Charbonnet. But I came in about week 5 or 6 and I said, emergency live stream. We're going to sell Walker. And everyone's like, what? You said he was going to be good, Smitty. I don't understand. I don't like that you change your mind in the middle of a season, Smitty. You should just stick to your guns. If you think Walker's the guy, he should be the guy all year long. People get so confused out of my adjust and adapt, being liquid, being loose. You got to be loose and liquid, bro. You got to be loose and liquid. You got to go with the flow. Yep. And so I'm very, very much a adjust and adapt person. And so as far as like, do I think I could see myself valuing players differently if we saw something on the practice field? Yeah, but like, bro, it hasn't crossed my mind they're not doing the brotherly shove. So my evaluations are all the same. I think it'd be more so if we heard Jalen Hurts was never going to do it again and Kellen Moore came out and said, we're not doing that anymore. That's done. Like, then I'd probably like step back a little bit and go, okay, let's look at this. And I probably would come to the conclusion that he's just going to throw more. So I'm fine with it. Like, no matter what, you're not taking the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands when there's 1 yard to be gained. This guy squats 600 plus pounds. This guy out squats everybody but Saquon Barkley. So you might say they might hand it to Saquon Barkley, but you need a yard. You're going to get a yard from Jalen Hurts. So I'm not worried about it at all. At most, we're losing maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 touchdowns on the ground via the brotherly shove by way of Jalen Hurts. And we're handing those to Barkley. But guess what we're going to get? Probably another touchdown or 2 or 3 or 4 passing for Jalen Hurts. It's going to wash. Not worried about it at all, bro. Let all these other people that, bro, some of these people you're talking about, and I'm not going to say names and even give them the time of day, but a lot of these people you're talking about, they don't even have a resume. They just started creating YouTube videos during the pandemic, and they just claim to be an analyst, and you're listening to somebody say, we're going to go ahead and not go this way, we're going to head and go that way. I'm not saying that those people aren't good, that not everybody, deserves a shot to start, I'm not saying that, but you don't even know where half of these people were 4 years ago and how much knowledge they actually bring to the table. So think what you want, watch whatever you want, but I'm not worried about an offense that is now led by Kellen Moore, by a quarterback in Jalen Hurts that is a top 3 quarterback in both real football and fantasy football. Jalen Hurts is a monster, and I fully expect them to be doing some of the brotherly show. All right, James.
There we go. Well, thank you, Francis. Hey,
yeah, call back.
I gotta go.
Oh, I don't want to keep you. Later. TJ, you're live. What's up, TJ?
Hey, Smitty, how you been?
I'm good, bro.
Good. So I just did a Dynasty trade.
All right.
I traded a second-round pick in 2025 for Christian Kirk.
I mean, look, I'm not even a big Kirk fan, but I think that's a decent move. Kirk should be pretty solid this year, but I think Kirk is wildly overrated. So you should be doing is trying to sell Kirk because he's going in the.
I was actually about to ask you about that.
He's going in the 4th round sometimes in a redraft in a best ball. That is asinine. Yeah. That is like, I don't know. It's like taking a lightning rod out in a rainstorm. Like what would make you? What will make you draft Christian Kirk in round 4? Most people, too, they get very defensive. You'll see about probably 2 or 3 comments are going to come in and go, Kirk's going to be pretty good this year, Smitty. Like, it's so mad. They get so mad. No one's saying he's not good. No one's saying he's not. Kirk's going to eat. You'll see. You'll see. Like, but no one's saying he won't eat, but he shouldn't be going in round 4. He shouldn't be going where Mahomes goes, where sometimes Jalen Hurts goes, where McBride goes. Number 1 at his position, potentially. That's not where you draft Christian Kirk. So I'm definitely trading Kirk. I'm trying to go get a tight end like McBride or Kincaid, even if I'm giving up my tight end and Kirk, even if I'm giving up a first rounder and Christian Kirk to go get one of those tight ends. I'm going and getting Kyren. I'm going and getting Achane. I'm going and getting doubted players for Christian Kirk. I'm going to get DK Metcalf straight up. I'll give up draft capital if I have to, no problem. I'm going and getting Davante Smith. I'm probably trading Christian Kirk for Cooper Kupp just to get a year of Cooper Kupp, a year and a half of Cooper Kupp, because I think he could be still be a low-end wide receiver 1, and I want to win a championship. Christian Kirk, to me, is guaranteed nothing for the long term. And quite honestly, I don't even know that he's going to be a wide receiver 2 at all this year. Could he be? Sure, but that's not 4th-round material.
Yeah. It's funny you say that McBride thing because I was about to ask you about a trade away for Kirk because I've been getting a lot of offers. So I traded Christian Kirk and Deshaun Watson for McBride.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Deshaun Watson. Who's your quarterback when you trade Watson away?
I still have Josh Allen, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and J.J. McCarthy. So
okay, so yeah, I think you answered the question.
I'm only lacking tight end.
I'd probably throw a couple of second rounders in. I'd probably throw in JJM. I mean, come on, bro. It's McBride.
Okay.
Could be the number. This is McBride. Yeah. Hold on, let me show you something.
Once upon a time, Trey McBride saw 2 quarterbacks cross streams.
There are 2 5s?
They're gonna cross streams.
He worked effortlessly trying to accomplish this feat on his own. Then, one day, he crossed his 4th and 5th round average draft position. And then, this occurred. Get McBride.
Yeah, that's a total smash, bro. Like probably one of the best trades we've seen. Almost vetoable. Like be careful. Like you almost got to give
crazy
it.
Because he said he'd throw in a 3rd.
I wouldn't even take it, bro. I would pretend you didn't hear that, and I would just say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, chat, can I get it? Is there a veto process in your league?
Not really. Yeah, it's a new league we just started this year, so.
Then you don't know. Let's ask the chat real quick. If things could get vetoed, would you ignore the 3rd round request, pretend you didn't hear it, and play dumb and say, okay, bro, I think you said it was McBride for Deshaun Watson and Christian Kirk straight up 2 for 1, right? Just to get him to go, oh, yeah. Not only that, bro, if he was tempted to back out, he might be more apt to do it now. But I don't know that I have him throw anything in. I have a feeling it's going to get vetoed. I don't know. Let's see what the chat thinks. But sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot when you get greedy. I've got this guy that orders phone calls for me. And if anybody wants to order phone calls for me, just go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. And you can order a 15-minute phone call. But I got this guy that always orders phone calls. He takes advantage of people so much that sometimes he's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make this offer. And he'll do this, it'll sound good. And then he'll go, and then I'm going to ask him for Davante Smith back. And I'm like, no, you can't just throw Davante. Like, you're already crushing this guy in a trade, and you're going to ask for Davante. He always does that. He gets like Davante Smith in it, or he'll ask for a DK Metcalf, or ask for a Pacheco just thrown in. And the problem is, if he gets it done, it's getting vetoed, But you can't just throw that in. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Smitty. Have a good one.
All right, later. I don't know if the chat is responding to that. I mean, does anybody think that's gonna risk it? Gonna make it a veto trade? Kyren or JT? Kyren for me all day long. But I understand the JT love. But the thing is, JT, everyone wants to like source his previous years stats and be like, oh, he's done this before, he's done this, but he's also like, he's also had trouble staying healthy lately. He's also, a guy that had a running back one season that was a very low running back one season. I mean, you put JT's elite breakout year in a majority of other years, and it would be like running back 3 or 4. So it's kind of a scary thing. Who rock out in Hawaii? Oh, you're in Oahu? Is that what you're saying? Rock out? You're in Oahu? Rock out in Hawaii. I don't know if rock out's really in Hawaii. I don't know what he's saying there, but rock out if you're in Hawaii. Congratulations. That's awesome. Smitty, rank Najee Harris, Stevenson, Zamir White, Connor. I'd probably go stand alone. I'm going Zamir White. Then I'm going Stevenson, then Najee. If I have Warren and Najee, that could jump to 1 or 2 or tied with Zamir White. Stevenson, I like a lot. Connor and Benson could be the number 1 if you had the combo versus not having any combos. So the cuffing part does matter. And as I said earlier, cuffing is not something that's mandatory. It's not a blanket statement business. You gotta look at the board. You gotta say there are certain cuffs that are special, like Connor and Benson. And there's certain cuffs that aren't special or even required. So you give me Connor Benson, it's different than Connor. But I would say stand alone, no cuffs involved. Zamir White, Stevenson, Najee, Connor. But it's close. They're all very, very close. Their ADPs are very close. Hang tight, Bruce. I'm coming right for you. I just got one more $20 hauler from Ivy. Ivy, appreciate you dropping the 20 wad, my guy. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ivy dropping a 20 wad. Guys, keep the super chats flowing in. They get answered in the order in which you're received right away. I'm not messing around. I'm not making people wait. I pulled the trigger on that trade we talked about, 10-team. I don't remember, but let me refresh my memory. I traded a first round, 4th overall for a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. So now I have 17, 19, 22nd, 24. I do remember now. What would you do with these picks? Kyren Williams will be gone. Are you sure he'll be gone? Because that would be a shame if you can't get Kyren or Achane. I kind of remember talking about if you get Kyren or Achane versus like even a running back at 4 or 5 or whatever. It depends on who's there, Ivy. I mean, if we look at like an ADP board, I'll look at Underdog Fantasy, which is very wide receiver heavy. So we're gonna have to kind of play around with the potential of where these guys will fall. But we look at a wide receiver heavy board, and we say pick number 17, 19, 22, 24. Let's go down to like 20 or something. So Barkley, you got to get Barkley, Achane, or Kyren, I would imagine, at your first pick, number 17. If you don't, you've got to be able to get one of them. Henry's there. If this is, I don't know if this is Dynasty or redraft. If it's Dynasty, then we change our tune a little bit. We're not going Henry there. But like MHJ, London, Kyren, Achane, Barkley, Henry, Josh Allen, just handfuls of those players, bro. Like you got to be able to get some of those guys. And then, you start looking at, do you want Mahomes and Kelsey? Do you want potentially Josh Allen and Kincaid with, but 24 is too high. Can you get Kincaid later? I don't know where your next pick is. But if you take Josh Allen, I love 17, 19, 22, and 24. I assume you're going to be able to get Achane or Kyren. You say Kyren's off the board, that's fine. Give me Achane, give me Barkley, give me in redraft, give me Henry, give me Josh Allen. You just gotta have to give me a list of players, Ivy, or call in and we'll spitball it. But I could definitely help you. I probably need more information. It's a very far down part of a draft to kind of, anticipate who's going to be there. But if you dial in, I'll help you. Bruce, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you. What's going on, pal?
I have a question. If this so-called trade happens with Adams going to the Jets, who do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to look for more, Wilson or Rodgers?
Well, I mean, we talked about that.
Wilson or Adams.
Yeah, we already talked about that, but maybe you weren't here. But I would just say that at the end of the day, Adams is 31 years old, turning 32, right? So how in the hell do we make a decision to downgrade Garrett Wilson or assume Garrett Wilson isn't going to be the guy off of a turning 32 during the season wide receiver, changing teams, which obviously he knows Aaron Rodgers, right? But there is an adjustment. There is a jolt to the psyche. It's a lot to move teams, but it'll be easier for Adams because he knows Rodgers, and it really is Rodgers' offense, and Rodgers will absolutely force him into relevancy. But I think to just assume because he's leaving that he's still going to remain in his prime for the entirety of the year. I mean, we could see him come over and be like Julio Jones was when everyone thought Julio might have one more year and he didn't. Like, I don't know. It's tough to say. I love Adams. Bro. It probably does have the one more year left, but that's it. Like, I am not going to bet on Adams at all past this year. And if he's in New York, and I'm not even betting on him now because he's on my do not draft list. He's on the planet Uranus. I would take him off. If he got traded to the Jets, I would take him off. I might even preemptively take him off because of the Jets rumors are starting to get really heavy. But I don't know that he becomes this elite wide receiver one, though. I think he becomes better than he will be in LV, but is he a high-end wide receiver too? It does suck. We're going to have a big conversation about what happens to Garrett Wilson if Adams does land in New York. But I don't think we make any adjustments because how can we assume all this is going to play out? There's a lot of moving parts to this trade. It's very telegraphed.
I got one more for you.
All right.
You posted that video of Nick Chubb. Wouldn't you take him at the right price?
So I haven't. Yeah, I haven't got to Nick Chubb yet. Thank you for reminding me. Let's get to that right now while we're at it. Here's a video of Nick Chubb. That was the one player I haven't talked about yet. I apologize. Every once in a while I do that. And here's Nick Chubb squatting. What was it? It was. What was this? 600? How many pounds was this? 600 pounds. Let me see. So here he is, 8 months out, squatting this massive amount of weight. And the problem is he's 8 months out from injury. These players try and impress everybody with these heavy weight lifts, and it doesn't, like, I don't know if you remember Kamara dragging it was so weird. Kamara, let me see if I can find the photo of it, but Kamara was dragging a weight bench tied to a truck, like a Mack diesel truck, pulling it up a hill. And I'm just sitting there saying to myself, like, how does a trainer let this player do this? And Nick Chubb, his body can't possibly be healthy enough to be doing this, whatever amount of weight. I think it was 600 or 800 or 600 pounds. He has no business squatting 600 pounds 8 months removed from injury. It doesn't make him strong or a monster. It makes him reckless with his body. The stress you put on your ligaments and your joints, doing that close to recovery, he's not even close to 100% yet. He can't. He tore everything in his knee. He tore his meniscus. He tore his ACL. He tore his MCL, his LCL. He tore everything in his knee. His knee didn't just go like that. His knee was a complete right angle. His knee was, here's the way your knee bends. It was bent this way, but on the side. Complete right angle. You can see all the ligaments and everything. You can see this ligament right here. This is your MCL. You can see that stretching as I bend it. You can see the meniscus in the corner here pinching, and you tear it. You tear this LCL as well. You tear your ACL. He had an ACL surgery, I believe, in November or December. He had his initial surgery relatively soon to the injury, early in the year or whatever, but or when it happened during the season, not early in the year, during the season. And then in December, he had a December, late November, had the second surgery to fix the ACL. So his ACL was fixed in November, December, and we're sitting here in July. So he's not really 8 months away from being recovered. He just had his ACL surgery. Like, there's no reason to be doing this. This does not make me want to draft him. This does not tell you Nick Chubb's going to be a great running back again. Look, I've got horrible knees. I can't go out there and cut. I'll tear something. But could I squat? Could I do things that are very, very smooth and not creating some sort of left to right lateral type of movement? Yeah, like that. But that's not going to make me good at cutting on the field. He has no timetable to return. This is not signifying he's ready for week 1. People are assuming that it means he's ready for week 1. It is not. He's got no timetable to return, and the likelihood of re-injury is huge. I know a lot of people want to say, hey, he's a beast, he's different, he's built different, look at him. And I want to get behind this. I want to be a part of this comeback. And to be honest with you, to answer your question, he's going so late in double-digit rounds. I'll be honest. There's a part of me, when I draft Jerome Ford, I'm like, because I draft him, obviously, before Nick Chubb. I'm looking at Nick Chubb at the end of the draft, if he's there, and I'm like, why not? In a best ball draft. But, or maybe a very deep, league. So the answer is, not to sound like wishy-washy on it, I would take him. Because you never know what happens, week 6, week 10, week 8. But I certainly am not counting on it. And when people think this means something different, then he's still way, 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 way away from coming back. It's just odd. It's odd that there's no reason he should be benching or squatting this. There's no reason. It doesn't do him any good. It's very reckless with his body. I can't even understand why his trainers and everybody that works so closely with him are letting him do max reps of 1 and 2 reps when he's trying to get stronger, healthier, more stable. You can even see his leg shake a little bit. You can't see it on this, but on Instagram you probably can. His leg shakes. Actually, maybe you might be able to see it here. His leg shakes a little bit. Now, granted, he's squatting a lot, so my legs would shake too. But why are you doing this? What good? Why not do 15, 20 reps of lighter weight that really gets your quads strengthened? Why are you doing this max rep stuff where you're going to pop a ligament? It's not good for your meniscus.
Yeah, I like I said, I seen that video and I was like, I wonder if Smitty would take it. So I'm assuming you would take him and Ford, but Ford before and then him later. But that's like your Uranus hang or cuff.
I would say like he's not going high enough to where anybody's running the risk of destroying their season. Like you take him and the freaking 12th round or something. Like I don't care. Like that's fine. You're taking a little bit of a gamble, but like who cares? Like 12th round, 13th round. But like if you're thinking he's like a 7th rounder, he's going to start week 1, you're overly optimistic. I like him. This does this make me think he's healthier than I thought he would be? Yes, but it also is a very reckless workout. But I definitely think he's worth grabbing if you've got Ford, or grabbing at the end of your draft. But that's it. Is he worth it? Sure. All right, bro. Broski to the moon.
Yep.
Later. Joel says, give me 5 sleeper, 3 QBs, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end. In Dynasty, the Cousins and Penix Jr. combo, no doubt about it, bro. As far as like QBs, I'd say in the redraft sense, I mean, I freaking love. Aaron Rodgers is nice, especially he might get Davante Adams. Fields, big time sleeper. Love Fields. JD5, obviously. It really just comes down to that. JD5 is going as QB number 11. I can't not give you a QB 11 that could be QB number 5 overall. Even though he's a bigger name. Kirk Cousins is going as QB freaking 18. You cuff him to Penix Jr., it's gold. Stafford, Aaron Rodgers at 16, 17, QB 17. Those are good. Wide receivers, as far as like a deep sleeper, bro. I love A.D. Mitchell in the 118s. I love Dotson at 140. I like Leggett at 140. Ricky Pearsall, 140. Burton at 140. McMillan at 150, 160. Those are late guys. Coleman at 80 is an absolute home run. Christian Watson at 75, 80 is a home run. Tight ends, go watch the tight end show. But you got Goddard, you got Jelani Woods, you've got Luke Musgrave. You've got Ferguson as tight end freaking 9. Doesn't belong there. Why is he tight end 9? Why is Goddard well outside the top 10? Luke Musgrave's well outside the top 15. Ben Sinnott and Likely and Jelani Woods, super late. Love all those guys. Rockout says, check your DMs. Rockout must have dropped us another rap song or some sort of poetry. So some sort of Rockout poetry session. Let's go check out Rockout. Rockout, I don't see it, bro. Check DM. I'm checking my DM. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, Rockout. You might not have sent it. $10 hauler from my boy to the moon. New Age. Appreciate you dropping a super chat, my guy. New Age says, if Adams was traded to the Jets, Trey Tucker, mid-season monster, best ball mania, or best ball, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily put him in my bucket of absolute monster breakout success story, but I just don't like that passing environment, bro. I think Bowers benefits to the most of it, the most he can, and I don't know that the touchdowns will be there for Bowers, but I think that he does have a good year. Not gonna lie, Hurts is good, but I do believe anyone with freaking weapons in that O-line are gonna produce. Yeah, Adam, he's more than good though. He's an elite player. He's an absolute calm, collective, elite player. And let's stop separating talent from the player. We can't take away Kelsey, all the years that Mahomes has had him, and Tyreek Hill. We can't do that. It's not a game you can play. Jalen Hurts is what he is. It doesn't matter. Anybody that tries that, I'm not saying you're doing this, Adam, but anybody that tries to separate him from other players by taking away players on his team that's a ridiculous proposition. Not to mention he was great before A.J. Brown even arrived. Even as a rookie, his first 2 games were 300-plus yard games and 3 touchdowns each. Adam, you're putting receipts out there you don't want out there. Let's be real. He's good, but he's not gonna. You're saying the same thing that Fowler did. Fowler just proved he doesn't know ball. Adam, don't go there. Don't go there. He's top 5. Stop while you're ahead, Adam. You're digging a hole for yourself. You're putting some very bad receipts out there on yourself. Trying to talk down Jalen Hurts right now. You're upset Jalen Hurts has a lot of weapons and is producing. You're literally out here making excuses for why Jalen Hurts is great. You're trying to subtly, underhanded, try and diminish Jalen Hurts, bro. That's what you're doing. You're literally 4 or 5 comments now. You're literally trying to say, look, I know he's good, but let's try and tear down his situation. Let's reverse engineer Jalen Hurts and prove he's not good. Not on my watch, Adam.
You just get lammed. Get lammed.
No. Rockout. Here's Rockout's message. Here we go.
Wake up. Trey first round. He's going to win you leagues, so you can come back to fantasy football now.
Not your best work, Rock Out, but we still love you. Rock Out to the moon.
Mashed potatoes.
They can't all be bangers. They can't all be. It's okay. Anyway, phone line's open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Thanks, Rock Out. Appreciate you anyway. You're still dropping, bigger fire than most people could drop. So Rock Out just absolutely sending out angel calls, voice of an angel. No New England wide receiver in redraft this year. That's correct. I'm not going near any wide receiver in New England except for Javon Baker in Dynasty. I do like him. Polka's interesting, but 224 caller, you're live. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Nate from Chicago.
Nate from Chicago. What is up, my man?
What's good? So basically my question is I am picking at the 112 spot, redraft. I know I'm going Gibbs at the 12, but on the turnaround, who are you thinking? I'm thinking either Puka or JT so far.
Well, I'm not a big JT guy, so that wouldn't be my choice. But
you convinced me a little on Kyren too.
Look, I mean, is Kyren worth it? Yes. Do I? You got to ask yourself, do you want to pass on reaching, but then missing out on him entirely, or making a bold statement, grabbing Corum and taking him a little bit early? In some leagues, especially non-best ball, you're going to have to take Kyren in the top of round 2 or mid round 2. He's not falling in a snake league, a shark league full of astute running back drafters that consume running backs old school. Like, you're only going to get Kyren in round 3 when you're drafting with a bunch of wide receiver Williams. And the whole best ball community starting to fill up with all these Williams. They just, I don't know, it's a scared mentality. But I think that, I'm not afraid to go Gibbs, Kyren in your situation at all. And do you think you're getting a Tank Dell and a DK as your wide receiver 1 and 2 later?
I think so. Like, it's usually falling around like Jalen Waddle is usually the guy like on the 3rd round that's coming up.
Yeah, because Gibbs and Kyren's a smash. But I
just hammer receiver after that.
Yeah, or you're gonna go MHJ instead of Kyren, and that's fine. That's really, really solid. London's pretty good. London I like a lot if you want to go London instead of MHJ and Kyren. But, you could also go wide receiver instead of Gibbs and then go Kyren. But I think I can't pass on Gibbs. I really can't.
Yeah, he's top 5 for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm writing out a team, bro, and again, for the wide receiver Williams, put on your earmuffs, okay? Because you're not gonna like this conversation right now. It's gonna make you really, really scared. It's gonna make you really scared, and you're gonna have anxiety. But Gibbs and Kyren as your 1 and 2. Let's say who name off the wide receiver 1s in round number 3 in your league that you expect. DK, like who's gonna be there?
Pull it up.
And tell me where you think. I mean, we could go AR5 with this team and take advantage. Since we're going a little bit bolder, running back, we could say let's punt the earlier quarterback and go semi-early QB in AR5. So, like, what are these wide receivers going to look like in rounds 2 and 3? So
it'll be possibly Diggs to start off, but after that, it's like Aiyuk, DJ Moore, Waddle,
DK,
Waddle,
DK,
Davante Smith, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean,
Debo,
yeah, bro. If you can get Debo and Kupp,
yeah.
I mean, wow.
Because I need to hit on those wide receivers if I'm going RB.
Bro, I mean, that you're getting plenty of wide receiver help. You're getting 2 wide receiver 1s in the 3rd and 4th round. You know, DK Metcalf as well falls in this category. You said Devontae Smith. That's fine by me. I'm not big on DJ Moore. I know you're in Chicago. I'm sorry, but give me Devontae Smith and DK all day long. You could throw AR5 in here. Maybe Hurts or Mahomes still falls. Probably not, but if they do, you take them. If not, you get AR5. If Kincaid fell, that would be unbelievable. If McBride fell, you smash McBride there. This is a home run approach, bro. Just make sure you reach an entire round off the suggested rank. Don't let Corum even creep into the first. Like he's got to be a scroll away. Don't even let him come up into the top 7 and even breach that area when you're like 5-6 picks away and you're like cutting it close. You got to take Corum around early. You get Corum and Kyren there, it makes it all worth it, bro. Don't listen.
Corum's gonna go early in my league. I know people like him.
Yeah, don't listen to any of the naysayers on Kyren, bro. Kyren's he's the only running back that was better than him last year was CMC.
Yeah, I saw he had like 1,200 yards and he missed 5 games or something like that.
Yeah, only running back since Barry Sanders to be a top 5 running back, rushing the ball and missing 5 games. So.
Right. And if I also one more question, if I
Yeah.
wait on quarterback and then go later, who do you think's the guy that could potentially break out in the later round? Caleb Williams potentially?
No. Sorry,
No?
bro. No. You obviously haven't been here all year. You're probably catching back up, but I'm a very, very anti-Caleb guy. I'm not on board, bro. I'm not on board.
Man.
I know you don't know. That's all right, though. You're in Chicago. You're like, what choice do you have? You have zero choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody should be listening to you about the Chicago Bears because you're going to be, by default, cheering and hoping. And he's got to be the answer. He's got to be. You know, but let's not get there because we're having a good conversation, and I don't want to tear down your Chicago Bears. But take him if you want as a second quarterback. But go with JD5 and Kyler, or if you want to go Caleb, you could go Caleb and Kyler, or Caleb and JD5, whatever. But I think those are really good QBs for you. JD5 and Kyler would be phenomenal. I'd rather have AR5. That's why I wrote him on the board here. AR5 is a big difference maker for you, especially with this build. You've got these 2 touchdown machines in Gibbs and Kyren with AR5. You could have some massive scoring, bro, every single week. Those 3 guys, that tripod there is going to carry you. Absolutely carry you, bro. And here's the tripod. For anybody that doesn't know, here's the tripod. This might help you.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting one of Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts to go with one of these round 1 running backs and one of these running backs in round 2. The tripod.
So you essentially get yourself one of these QBs, and AR5 kind of fits the bill, but you're drafting kind of off of this. You get Gibbs and Kyren, and you draft one of these QBs, and AR5 kind of falls into it. That's the tripod, baby. There's nothing more glorious than the tripod. It's scoring touchdowns, it's carrying you week in and week out. And if you're an astute wide receiver drafter, you know, don't listen to this. You need wide receivers. We know you need wide receivers, Bill. That's why we're attacking the position and smashing the position.
Oh, also I'm in a 3 wide receiver league. It's 3 receivers and 1 flex. So.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate it. Later.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
I don't want to tear down his Bears. You seem like a nice guy. You never know, too. Would you trade Dotson for Ridley in PPR Dynasty? If you're trying to win this year, that's a tough one because I really like Dotson. But I think I'd probably take the gamble on Ridley if there's cash money involved. And he definitely has a good 1.5 to 2 years, so I'm fine with it. I do like Dotson a lot, but it's not like Dotson's giving you a lot to go on right now, too. And then you got the Aiyuk. What if he gets traded to Washington? Smitty, you legend, you doing live backyard. Yeah, we'll be doing live graveyard streams from the backyard at least once or twice a week. Vertical show, a pole show, kicking it in the backyard with the golf course and everything. So, hang tight on that. Probably the reason why we haven't lately, I just got it all fixed and done up, and I had some tweaks that I needed to do to the backyard, but it's now done. But it's because we're drafting. But I will do some late night streams. I don't even love drafting every single graveyard show like everybody continuously does. I like talking football more than anything, but I do know we got to draft, so we do draft. But we'll be doing some late night graveyard streams from the backyard. Don't you worry about it, bro. Appreciate you. And a $20 hauler from New Age, dropping fire yet again.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
New Age, let's get a vote for the people and Nick Chubb or Zeke Elliott. Let's get a vote from the people, Nick Chubb or Zeke Elliott. I can do that. Let me pull up I'll put a poll up on the screen here. Nick, Chubb, or Zeke. Zeke, Chubb. This will be obviously Dynasty. I'm sorry, redraft. So here's the poll. I'll drop the poll link in the live chat right now. There it is. Go ahead and vote on the poll. I'll put the live vote on screen so you guys can see. This is a tough one. I mean, like, to be honest with you, no one should be drafting either one of these guys to be contributors, really. I don't mean that in a real negative way. It's just like, I don't know that these guys should be starters for you at all. Or starting for you. Maybe Zeke Elliott plays a couple games for you. Bye weeks, injuries. But, I mean, if you're starting one of these guys, you're probably in some trouble. But here's the poll on that one. Thank you for the $20 hauler. Any $20 hauler, I'll put a poll up, just so you guys know. If anybody ever wants to have a poll up for $20, no doubt about it, we can go to the people. I mean, look at this. We've got 10 votes pretty much already, almost 7 Zeke Elliott votes, 2 votes for Nick Chubb. Keep them rolling. Here's the link one more time in the live chat if you want to be a part of this poll. 8 votes for Zeke Elliott, 2 for Nick Chubb. You guys can also drop your comment in the chat too as well if you would like to, but 8-2, 80% Zeke Elliott. I know a lot of people want it to be Chubb. They really do. I get it. 8-4. We're out of here, I think, unless we get another phone call real quick. We'll do one more phone call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
One more phone call. We'll be back tonight. 9-4 is the vote so far. Zeke's about to get 8 to 10 touchdowns. I don't know about that, John. I don't know about that. Zeke will be potentially better than we expect for a little while. Problem is, does he drop off midseason? Does he get hurt? He's just a little more attractive because Chubb might not play for a while. Dowdle, I don't really love. Bill, what is going on? What do you got for me today? You're live.
Hey, Smitty. Pardon me. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. What do you got for me today, Bill?
Got my draft order today for my 12-man redraft league. I'm drafting number 2. So, Breece Hall or Bijan?
I mean, you can't go wrong, but I'm going Bijan. I mean, I love both of them. Both are running back 1 overall capable this year. No doubt about it. Look what Hall did last year. Running back 2 overall, and he got unleashed slowly, and he's got Aaron Rodgers. He's got, a better field position. He's going to get more goal line work. Even with Braylon Allen there, he's still going to get more goal line work. He got almost none last year. But Bijan Robinson is just the epitome of he's the definition of full-time workload, old school running back. Volume's going to be there. Probably leads the league in total yards for running backs. Probably could have a really strong shot at leading the league in total yards as a running back, rushing, receiving, and total touchdowns. In an amazing offense. Constantly in the red zone. Doubled up on QB protection there with Penix Jr. and Cousins. So there's no threat of what happened to Breece Hall last year, Garrett Wilson last year, and what could happen to Aaron Rodgers again this year. It's just a little bit safer all around. So Bijan to the freaking moon. But it's close.
How about I'm also considering, as far as thought, because I got a few weeks, Kyron.
Kyron? Who the hell's Kyron?
Yeah.
Who the hell's Kyron?
Kyren Williams.
Kyron?
Kyron. I say water, not water.
His Kyren.
Water.
Kyren Williams. Kyren. There's no O. Kyren. Ren.
We going back to Achan from Achan.
Okay.
My bad.
Go ahead. Call him K Will. Yeah, K Will. Look, you're not taking K Will in round 1. Bill, have you listened to a thing I preach? He's going.
I listen to everything you preach.
But he's going around.
I see next year because I see Kyron going first. But this was his year. This year, you know me. I'm always looking ahead.
I know you're looking ahead, but if you're looking ahead, you'll want to take advantage of his ADP. His ADP is in the 3rd round in best ball. It's in the 2nd round in non-best ball. So you can't take Kyren Williams at 1, 2, or 3 overall. You trade down. Like if you want to take him, trade down to like the 12, 13 turn, take him early there, and get a benefit somewhere. You know, obviously move your 4th rounder into the 2nd or do something crazy. But you can't take Kyren Williams in the top 3 because I did a show on how he's going to be the running back 1. You got to take advantage of it. There's a lot of people that will call in to the show. Week 1's already kicked off. A guy will call in and go, Smitty, I took your advice. You better be right. I took Kyren 1 overall, baby. And I'm gonna say, what? You did what? Cost of entry, my guy. Cost of entry. You've got to take advantage of it. You can't be doing this. But I want you to own him, bro. I want you to own him. I want you to draft Kyren Williams this year. But you got to take him in the right spot. Can you trade? Are you allowed to trade down?
Draft picks? Not sure. Haven't invested into that thought yet.
Well, you might
want to reach out to you and get your
perspective. Open up the playbook.
Have a conversation with you.
Yeah, you might want to open up the rule book a little bit. Check it out. See if they're even running backs.
There was a small opening where one of the persons was like, you drew me 6, but that might have been a little tongue in cheek. So I'm approaching carefully, and before I approach in the league, I always sit down on the couch and talk to my fantasy football therapist.
Okay,
if you will.
Make sure you take advantage of ADP. Don't draft a.
But when I call back in a couple of weeks and tell you that I'm drafting a quarterback, at the 1.2, and then you get really, really frustrated with me, then
in a 1 QB, I'm sure too. All right.
It's a 1 QB, but
yeah, I'm
but,
sure it
but,
is.
but our QB points,
You're not kidding.
When Mahomes.
You're not kidding.
It's a QB-driven league. So
you're not kidding, are you?
Bill.
Bill.
One goes. There'll be 4 that go in the first round.
Then that's good. Then that's good. Then Bill, listen to what I'm saying. Okay, you got to take this in. If your league is drafting in a 1 QB, QB's in round 1, that's okay. Let them do that. Go against the grain. Go against traffic. Go get JD5. Go get AR5. You'll be fine. Okay? But now I'm even more certain that Kyren Williams is falling to your 2nd round pick. Now in a league where 4 or 5 quarterbacks in a 1 QB are going in round 1, you're going to take Kyren Williams at 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall when he's more locked than ever to go in the 2nd round? Bill? Take Bijan, take Kyron, and then take your quarterback later. It's a deep QB pool. You could take Penix Jr. and Cousins and JD5 as your QB trio. You'll be fine. Don't fall victim to the early QB rush. I'm a big early QB advocate, and I'm telling you not to go this route. You're guaranteed Kyren later. What are we even doing, Bill? Strategy, Bill. Strategy.
If I can go Bijan, Tyron, and Pacheco, and then go Jordan Love later with Jaden Reed, then I'll be
Sure.
Then I'll be comfortable with my decisions I made.
Just make sure you're drafting Love in an appropriate spot too. All right. I got to run, Bill. Appreciate you. Call back when you've read the rule book, and then we'll go from there.
I am the rule book. Love you, buddy.
Later. What are we doing? What are we doing, Bill? All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. It looks like we got one more. Oh, we did that super chat, right? Get voting for people. Chubb versus Zeke Elliott. What does that vote at? What did the vote end up as? 11-5. Not very many voters on that poll, but 11-5. The people have spoken. The people have spoken, and they have deemed that Zeke Elliott is the best pick of these two non-relevant players. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Monday through Friday, I'm live at 8 p.m., just like this show here. I'm also additionally live whenever news breaks. I'm also additionally live at midnight drafting. Very blessed indeed with a 6-month membership question. Almost maxed out BB5, 60%. Bijan gonna be a good year, says blessed indeed. We also have 5 gifted memberships from New Age Outlaw coming in like a monster. Hold on a second. New Age dropping gifted memberships. Thank you. Very blessed for this celebratory message. And dropping 5 gifted memberships right here is New Age. 5 gifted memberships. Unbelievable. Andrew says take a lap. Very blessed indeed. Gifting 5 members, or getting one of the gifted 5 memberships. Skippy got one. Calvin got one. Reagan got one. And Tex got one. Appreciate you dropping that. And then any other celebratory messages here? Let me see here. No. Yeah, we got one from Mario. Mario, are you still here? Hitting the weights and listening to the GOAT. Appreciate you, bro. I've been dropping the weights as well. Doing some good things. Down 20 lbs since the H-Hand video. I'm down 20 lbs. Remember when I came in here and I vowed to you guys? I've been a little quiet about it because I've been wanting to stay, every time I mouth off about it, I end up ruining it. But I'm down 20 lbs ever since this guy came in and we said, we're going to do it. This guy can do it. We can do it. Even though I'm dropping, he's gaining. I'm getting more fit, and I'm down 20 lbs. I think I look it too. I'm looking a little bit more slender, but I will beef up and cut up now that I've dropped the lbs. But down 20 lbs, I got about 15 lbs to go to be at my ideal weight. I look a little slender, but I'll be cut. I'll be ripped. This man right here looks like he's 5-10 pounds of muscle added. H-hand to the mother freaking moon. Today was a Kyren episode, but maybe we celebrate H-hand tomorrow a little bit. We tend to go back and forth on at least once or twice every week and a half. You know what I'm saying? Talking about these two guys because they need to be talked about. Appreciate you all. See you all tonight. Don't forget Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Here's that link if you want to draft with us. I think we'll be going tonight. Hit this link right here. Sign up. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $250. So you drop $500, they give you $250. The minimum's only $10 though, and you can do a weekly winner for $10. And if you drop the minimum of $10, they'll give you $5 because they'll give you 50%. That link needs to be hit though. You need to sign up early, and let's go. Appreciate you all.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Legend has it if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
Oh, also, I don't know if I missed this. Is Blackbeard in here? Let's see, 1 minute and 49. An hour and 49 minutes in. We need to send this to Blackbeard, but we missed Blackbeard's birthday. You know, and it's Blackbeard's birthday. We need to celebrate this. So let's give Blackbeard 30 seconds of our standing ovation attention.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Let him cook.
Happy birthday, Beard. I'm sorry we're late on that, but happy birthday, Blackbeard. I may have even told him, I'm not sure, but Blackbeard to the moon. See you all tonight.